Hey guys, it's Samantha with Black Nation News, and today this must be a day of F-boy stories. It's been a day. The stories have been stupid, because I don't know what. So here comes this one. Apparently Cuomo is resigning after a probe finds he sexually harassed 11 women. I am not really following this story like that, so I really don't know what they quote-unquote found with their probe. But I think it's interesting that it used to be innocent until proven guilty. Last time I checked, Andrew Cuomo has not gone to trial. He has not been convicted of anything, yet he's stepping down from his post. Only thing I want to say about that is I think that he's pissed somebody off, because I don't really know why they're coming for him like this. I don't have a dog in this fight because I don't live in New York. I don't know him from Adam. I don't like or hate him. My feelings are very neutral about the whole thing, actually, as far as he goes. But I think it's the bigger principle of the issue is how fucked up this country is. So, it's like people get to say someone's guilty before there's really any trial or anything. Then the people that should be guilty, they just walk free. So that's what we're living. We're living in hell, where everything is upside down. And yeah, so let me go ahead and read. Cuomo resigns after probe finds he sexually harassed 11 women. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo resigned from office Tuesday, 1 week after an investigation concluded that he had sexually harassed 11 women and retaliated against his accusers. At a press conference Tuesday, Cuomo announced that he would step down from the office. His resignation will be effective in 14 days. The best way I can help now is if I step aside and let government get back to governing. And therefore, that's what I'll do, because I work for you, and doing the right thing is doing the right thing for you, he said. The decision to resign spared Cuomo, who has been governor since 2011, and is the son of former New York Governor Mario Cuomo, a potentially lengthy impeachment trial in the New York Assembly that was likely to have ousted him from power. Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul is now preparing to step in as governor. Okay, so I'm so lost right now. So Trump is still free. Didn't they do 2 impeachment trials for him? And he seemed to have no repercussions, no penalties for his fuckery. Then you have an entire January 6th insurrection. They're trying to overthrow the government, and they just act like they don't know how to put his ass in jail for what he did. He incited violence. He was the president of the United States. He didn't do anything to stop the violence. You basically tried to start your own civil war in 2021. So, I don't know. I'm about fairness. I don't like when things just don't add up. And I stand by what I say. Cuomo has pissed somebody off, because every politician is doing some jacked up crap when it comes to sexually harassing someone, sexually doing something wrong. Trump, Biden, you name it. You name it. And Biden had the nerve to fix his face and tell Cuomo he needs to step down. You need to step down, Biden. Trump needed to never be president, because he went in while facing a trial as far as him raping a young girl or something along those lines. So, miss me with the bullshit. There's a lot more behind this story that we don't know about, because this shit just reeks of... It just, something about it doesn't sit right with me. Doesn't sit right with me. And I'm gonna tell you this, most of the politicians in New York remind me of the mafia for some reason. I don't know if it's because they're Italian, or the way they move their hands, or just the stereotypes. I don't know. Trump also reminds me of a mobster. The way his gestures, his hand movements, he also reminded me of the mob. He's a mob boss or wannabe mob boss. And so, I can't say that Cuomo is clean. I'm not going to go as far as to say as he's innocent, he's perfect, but I don't know why you would have to resign from something you haven't been formally convicted of any crime. It doesn't make any sense to me. I see people doing crazy shit all day, every single day, and they get to keep their jobs. So I don't know if he touched the wrong girl who had a dad and a higher up somewhere, or did they not like the way he ran COVID? Did he go against some higher ups and did the right thing and didn't stay on code with them? Like, there's something else about this story. It's just something about the story doesn't sit right. Just like with the Bill Cosby story, it didn't sit right with me on that one either. It's like, I don't care if you have 1 million women who come out of nowhere and say this person did this to me. If there's no hardcore evidence, it's your word against his. And it's just like, why is your word worth more than his word? And people may think this is cute, but this is a slippery slope. People being punished without any trial, any evidence, like hardcore evidence, like, it's all good. It's all fun and games until it bites you. It comes to bite you in the ass. It comes to knock on your door, and you're being accused. And if there's like enough people that do the accusing, then now your life is turned upside down. Your job is gone. You're kicked out of the house onto the streets. So I'll be the devil's advocate here and say the story. It's not. No, it's not. I'm not taking it at face value. So let me keep going. So Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul is now preparing to step in as governor, a native of Buffalo. Hochul will be the first female governor of New York. She has been serving under Cuomo since 2014 and has a long history of working in New York state politics, having served in Congress and as a county clerk. Hochul wouldn't be the first lieutenant governor to assume the gubernatorial position. In 2008, then Governor Eliot Spitzer resigned following a prostitution scandal and was succeeded by his Lieutenant Governor David Paterson. On August 3rd, State Attorney General Letitia James announced the results of an investigation into allegations made against Cuomo by women who worked for or alongside him. According to James, the report revealed a deeply disturbing yet clear picture in which the governor sexually harassed multiple women, many of whom were young women, by engaging in unwanted groping, kisses, hugging, and by making inappropriate comments. The 168-page report also found that the governor's conduct created a hostile work environment for women, and that his staffers had retaliated against at least one of his accusers, who included gubernatorial aides and a New York state trooper assigned to protect him. So I'm like, does this hold more weight because these are gubernatorial aides and a New York state trooper? Is that why this is like really holding it, like just going this far? The investigation took nearly 5 months and included interviews with 179 people. Initially, Cuomo insisted he would not leave office because of the investigation, saying in a tape recording that he never touched anyone inappropriately or made inappropriate sexual advances, the Associated Press reported. As more women came forward to detail their claims against Cuomo, he repeatedly insisted on his innocence, stating that his touching and kissing represented a generational and cultural divide between him and his accusers. In a much maligned video statement released after James's press conference, he portrayed himself as a misunderstood champion for sexual harassment victims. He also released numerous photos of showing other politicians touching people, including one of former President Barack Obama hugging a Hurricane Sandy victim. Why would they bring him up the most? Because he's black? There was a lot of politicians he showed that weren't black that were doing hugging people and kissing people. Stupid. It's just not a good day for news. That's really dumb. Anyways, at today's press conference, Cuomo continued to remain defiant in the face of the claims against him. My instinct is to fight through this controversy because I truly believe that it is politically motivated, he said. I believe it is unfair and it is untruthful. In my mind, I've never crossed a line with anyone, but I didn't realize the extent to which the line has been redrawn. There are generational and cultural shifts that I just didn't fully appreciate, and I should have. No excuses, he continued. Even as he shifted tone, getting teary-eyed before announcing his resignation, Cuomo did not admit any wrongdoing, as he shouldn't. Why would he? Why should he admit wrongdoing? Innocent until proven guilty, you have the right to remain silent. The hell? Referring to the controversy surrounding him, he said, wasting energy on distractions is the last thing state government should be doing, and I cannot be the cause of that. I'm actually glad he stepped aside, because this is a horse and pony show. We have enough to worry about in this raggedy country. Like, they were going to latch onto this for dear life, and we just have other things we should be focusing on, like people getting evicted, or the coronavirus, or reparations, or the fact that you have a bunch of white supremacists who are trying to overthrow the government, and they're not really being held to any kind of a real high standard. You have so many issues. Global warming, you name it, is happening right now, and this just isn't high on my priority list. It really isn't. It really, really isn't. Because I feel like if he's going down, they need to investigate Biden, Trump, everybody for sexual harassment. Everybody. It's like, why just going after like one guy? Every time I turn around, it's like so many other politicians who've done some jacked up shit, and they get to stay. Was it Governor Northam just the other few years back having blackface, and he's still chilling in his pot? So, what is the goalpost moved for others, and other people can make mistakes, like really big ones, and keep it moving and stay where they are, and others have to leave, and there's really no proof for some other people that have to leave. I see more proof in people who got to stay than people who have to leave that there was wrongdoing. Make it make sense. That's all I want to say, is make it make sense. So in a statement issued after Cuomo's announcement, James said that his resignation closes a sad chapter for all of New York, but it's an important step towards justice. I thank Governor Cuomo for his contributions to our state, James said. Oh, please. How can you thank him for his contribution, but you're like, acting like he's like this crazy, perverted old man touching everyone? You gotta take a pick. You gotta stay on, like, figure it out. The ascension of our Lieutenant Governor, Kathy Hochul, will help New York enter a new day. We must continue to build on the progress already made and improve the lives of New Yorkers in every corner of the state. Prosecutors in Manhattan and Albany have already opened criminal investigations into the governor's actions. It's laughable at best. And at least 3 counties have asked James's office for material as they pursue their own inquiries. Because this just reminds you of Breonna Taylor. Like, why is she still not getting justice? Why is that attorney general still able to act like the cops did nothing wrong? So many questions, so many times that I feel justice was not served, as it should have been when it was so obviously wrongdoing being done there. So it's like I just try not to laugh when I see stuff like this. I'm like, okay. So we're really just picking and choosing who's going to be punished for things and who's not going to see the inside of a prison to save their lives, no matter what they do. Trump. So anyways, the first public allegation against Cuomo was made in late February, and over the ensuing weeks, a half dozen more women stepped forward to accuse him of harassment and misconduct. It just really feels weird, like why is this coming out now, like around COVID? He has served for so long as the governor, I believe, or at least in politics. And it's just kind of weird. This was when everything comes out all of a sudden. Many prominent New York Democrats, including Senators Chuck Schumer and Kirsten Gillibrand, as well as Reps Jerry Nadler and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, called for Cuomo to step down in March. Following James' report, that number grew to include President... I'm trying not to laugh. That number grew to include President Biden, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, a number of union leaders, and the New York Times editorial board. I do not believe I have ever done anything in my public career that I am ashamed of, Cuomo said at a briefing in March as the scandal escalated. At the time, he said those calling on him to step down were playing politics and bowing to cancel culture. Politicians who don't know a single fact but yet form a conclusion and then an opinion, in my opinion, reckless are in my opinion reckless and dangerous, he said. The people of New York should not have confidence in a politician who takes a position without knowing any facts or substance. That, my friends, is politics at its worst. It was a dramatic fall from grace after Cuomo was lauded for his COVID-19 briefings in the spring of 2020, winning an Emmy and publishing a book in October. Why is he winning an Emmy? That's weird. And publishing a book in October titled American Crisis, Leadership Lessons from the COVID-19 Pandemic. He was first elected governor in 2010 and also served as the state's attorney general. What? Jeez, he's like, I knew he held like a lot of different positions. But my goodness, I didn't know he was the state's AG at some point. He also served as Secretary of Housing and Urban Development in the Clinton administration. His father, Mario, was also a 3-term governor of New York. I thought he says his father was a 4-term. Okay, and his brother Chris, an anchor at CNN, has been criticized for privately helping the governor manage his scandal. There we go with CNN again, right in the middle of everything. So yeah, kind of knew this was coming. It was kind of weird when I watched it. I was watching him give a speech earlier today, but nobody was saying yet that he had resigned. But I knew, time I saw him sitting there, that he was going to say he was going to resign. So I don't know why. It was just something about the way he looked. He looked so pitiful. And I'm not saying I feel sorry for him because, like I said, I don't know much about him. But I just feel like constantly with this country, it's a lot of the pot calling the kettle black when, you know, you're looking at other people's faults and you have your own faults to be looking at, that you should be looking at. Everyone's just not being held to the same standard, and that's a problem. You know, why does some sexual harassment people get to still hold office, get to still keep their jobs, and other people are being forced to step down with no real evidence, no trial, no nothing. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.